At BII, standard operation procedures of sanitation are strictly followed. Caged floors, feed trays, and perches are scrubbed with chlorinated water and sprayed with disinfectants. Flight aviaries are cleaned to avoid bacterial cultivation in fecal pellets and discarded food. Visitors and caretakers are also required to take sanitation procedures and use footbaths. Even motor vehicles are not exempted from this rule. At BII, a bird hospital and laboratory provides the necessary veterinary services for the bird. The BII laboratory has 4 light microscopes, an endoscope machine that can be used for surgical sexing of the birds, and a surgitron machine for soft tissue surgery and operation. BII also has a mechanical convection incubator for bacterial and fungal culture that will help identify specific cause of disease for proper diagnosis and treatment. A reflotron machine is used to determine blood values such as SGOT, uric acid, cholesterol, amylase, glucose, and others. The gas anesthetic apparatus is used during surgical sexing and endoscopy. In case of a disease, the hospital staff immediately acts on the situation to avoid an outbreak in the aviary. Ill birds are quarantined to avoid infection of other birds and will continuously be monitored for reaction to the treatment. While the hospital has the capability to cope with any problem that may arise, the focus of the veterinary staff is on preventive work, such as the workup of breeders during the non-breeding season. This involves various laboratory tests and procedures. The hospital also regularly takes culture samples of the birds, food, equipment, water, and other elements of the environment in order to ensure that the highest standards of hygiene and sanitation are maintained. Just as humans need the comfort and convenience of a home, the birds here at BII are housed in well-designed cages. All the birds' cages, both the portable ones and the large aviaries, are constructed to keep their occupants safe from harm while simulating their natural habitat. Special twin-weld galvanized wire mesh imported from the United Kingdom is used. The cages are designed to prevent rats and sparrows from entering the cage while preventing harm to the occupants. At BII, the specially designed flight aviaries are equipped with double doors to prevent the birds from escaping. Main doors are securely locked too. Have a separate food tray entrance. Cages are raised a foot or so above the ground, and the base covered by smooth iron sheets impenetrable to rats and other small animals. To cool the environment, an artificial shower is regularly turned on for several hours daily, even more frequently during the hot summer months. Special attention is also given to details that would help the birds develop to their utmost peak, like the types of perches used and the varying heights in which they are strategically placed inside the cage. Wood perches that help condition the bird beaks are changed every month to discourage the growth of fungi and bacteria. At BII, a total of 19 flight breeding aviaries are available, with an average of 120 compartments each. A cemented walkway between the aviaries allows for easier nest inspection. There are several hundred portable cages in various sizes to accommodate different species of breeding birds. And there are also 90 mini flight breeding aviaries that can house a grouping of small to medium breeding birds. The cemented floor with drainage, covered by 3 to 4 inches of sand, is cleaned and disinfected daily with chlorinated water. Periodically, the entire layer of sand is changed. All of these cages have nest boxes that ensure a more conducive breeding environment and privacy for the pairs. Birds become easily annoyed and are extremely sensitive to disturbance during the breeding season, so some areas are closed off to people traffic and are restricted except for a limited number of caretakers assigned. Non-breeding birds also occupy the same portable or mini flight aviaries, but without the provision of a nest box. Depending on the species, two types of nest boxes may be used, either made of plywood or palm trunk. Both types have been successful in the Spix macaw breeding program. These nest boxes have a back door through which nest eggs are inspected or hatched birds and eggs are pulled out. After each egg is pulled out, the nest boxes are disinfected and the nesting materials replaced. At the end of the breeding season, the nest boxes are taken down, thoroughly disinfected, and, if worn out, changed. BII personnel are highly trained to identify bird pairs that are about ready to breed. They would be the birds that are always together, and they preen each other's feathers like a courting couple. Whether the pairing of birds is achieved through natural bonding or forced pairing, a strict medical protocol is followed. Each bird goes through a complete physical examination, including blood and stool analysis, culture and sensitivity tests, and deworming. Leg bands would determine if a pair is not blood-related and if they are of the opposite sex. And when a potential breeder has finally found its mate, and before it is transferred to a breeding cage, a complete workup is done to check if all results are normal and the birds have good musculature. When the time comes for a female to lay its eggs, strict protocol is followed. Placed in specially lined boxes, the eggs are pulled out 15 to 20 days from the estimated date the egg is laid, depending on species. This is the safest stage where the embryo is least likely to suffer damage from the transfer. Every egg is accounted for with an entry number, its lineage tracked and established. The entry also indicates whether or not the parents are bred in captivity.